we are live again. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Creatia Conversation for Monday, January 23rd, 2023. I am your host, Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined once again by my co-host, the Warden, Matt Ritter. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
Whew, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Just living and maintaining, watching The Last of Us, all that stuff. Yeah.
If I were you, I would have picked the fungus making out with her.
I thought about that after I made the thumbnail, and I'm like, I'm not going back and making another one right now.
Fair
I don't
enough.
have time. So
we'll get into that later, though. Fun news for you. I finished everything I wanted to do in Astro's Playroom, so I got all the puzzle pieces, and I unlocked all the shit, so I could move on, and I did. I did not start playing God of War. I decided to go with Final Fantasy VII.
Understandable.
And it looks amazing on the PS5.
Yeah. And my thing is, I wanted you to play through Astro's Playroom just because I wanted you to experience the controller. Because when I try to explain to somebody how fucking amazing this controller is, it's hard to explain if you don't have it in your hands.
Right.
So it's just...
But I am a completionist. I can't just go in there and then have them tell me I got one of 4 fucking puzzle pieces on a map and not go get it, or like not get all of the consoles pieces, like the collectibles. I did all that. I didn't do like the run-throughs. I didn't collect all the actual trophies for like PlayStation or 100% complete the game. That I'm good with. Just every level I made sure I collected all the shit.
It often happens, even when he has to say it all. He gets winded at the end because it's a lot. But I am who I am.
You are who you are. I also fucked up last night.
Oh, how'd you fuck up?
So after Kate was done at the new house and stuff, and she came home and we put Zoe down to bed, we started watching that 90s show because we got caught up on Young Rock and National Treasure and Oak Island Saturday.
Still haven't watched this past episode of Young Rock. We were supposed to watch it yesterday, like afternoon, morning-ish. Yeah. And my PlayStation was doing something really weird where it was just like the colors were off. Like there was this weird purplish thing that was happening on everything. And it's hard to explain if you haven't seen it, but it was something with I don't know. It was looking really weird and looking really bad. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So we watched something else because Peacock only works through the PlayStation on that TV because that TV doesn't have a Peacock app on it. For some reason, Samsung TVs don't have Peacock, probably because Peacock is trash and they say we're not putting that trash shit on our TVs. But later on, I figured it out. I fixed it. It was all good. I basically unplugged the HDMI cords and plugged them back in. It might be the HDMI cord. It might be something else, but it fixed itself when I unplugged the HDMI and plugged it back in.
Okay. So we watched that 90s show, which wasn't what I was hoping. Like, it was fine. There was some funny stuff. I enjoyed some of it, but it also kind of felt forced. Like, it felt like a lot of the characters were trying to play the characters that they weren't in that 70s show instead of it just feeling like revisiting the characters as older.
That tends to happen on stuff. That happened actually with Fuller House on Netflix as well. It was just like,
I agree.
You're forcing this. I'm going to sit through all this because it is what it is, and there's no way I'm not going to. But there's a lot of this you're forcing.
But after that 90s show, we completely forgot that Last of Us was on, so we went and watched the first episode of Kaleidoscope. Well, we picked Orange. We started with Orange on Kaleidoscope, and then Kate went to bed, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I know there was something else I was supposed to do tonight. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just start this WCW stuff. Maybe that's what it was. And then I woke up this morning at like 9 o'clock, and I sat up and I was like, fuck, Last of Us. So I came downstairs and literally just finished watching Last of Us right before we started this.
Well, it's fresh in your head then,
It is.
As opposed to me, I watched it last night after, 3 hours of D&D and then going into that. So there's a lot of things that were in my head at that time, but it's,
yeah,
it's cool. But, we are that number one news source on Pornhub for all that nerd-ish. So let's get into some of that nerd-ish news, okay? This isn't really nerd news, but this is more Travis and Matt news. last week we didn't get to talk about this because it was on the news, Doc, and I was here on Friday, but I'm like, I want to talk about this with Matt. Taco Bell released a game day box. They announced they're doing this game day box. Now, did you look at the game day box? Did you see what's in the game day box?
I have not, because it's a link to Instagram, and I don't have Instagram.
Okay, so the game day box has wings, so they're bringing back the wings.
Okay.
A Mexican pizza. How you doing, Will? And 4 crunchy tacos. And I'm guessing you can switch those out for soft tacos if you want, because that's usually
probably.
Okay. So here's my question, Matt. Does this appeal to you?
No.
Me neither. And I saw this and I'm just like, oh, Taco Bell, you're doing a game day box, Super Bowl time. Makes sense. I might hop on this. And I looked at this and I'm like, oh, that's disappointing.
I could think of a million other things on their menu that I would include in a game day box besides what they put. Like, I get it. Pizza and wings. They're thinking pizza and wings. So Mexican pizza and wings. First off, Taco Bell wings are just a recipe for diarrhea, regardless of how strong of a constitution you are. And that's not how I want to spend game day. Like, I'm not trying to sit in the bathroom all day on the toilet, watching on my phone while everyone else is enjoying themselves or waiting for me to get out so they can go in. Mm-hmm. I have never been a proponent of the Mexican pizza. It is not my thing.
I'm not big on beans though. That's the thing. It's like I'm really not big on especially like refried beans and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want it. It's just, and that's a key component of the Mexican pizza. So it's just like, to me, it don't work for me.
Oh no, I love refried beans. Most of what I get from Taco Bell involves refried beans. Did I tell you that I found a way to get a double-decker taco now?
No.
It's a pain in the ass, but since they got rid of it and I loved it, you have to order a crunchy taco supreme and a soft shell taco, only refried beans.
Only beans, and then you
put them together.
Apart, you put them together.
And you make it together. Exactly. So that's how I get my double deckers now.
There's another thing that you can make at Taco Bell, which is gratuitous and completely unnecessary. But I saw it and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. So you order a quesadilla and you tell them don't cut it. Okay. So chicken quesadilla, steak quesadilla, whatever you want. Then you order 3 crunchy tacos. If you're feeling adventurous, make them Doritos Locos tacos. Doesn't really matter. But you do that, you open the quesadilla, and you put the 3 tacos inside the quesadilla and make basically a huge ass, not a cheesy gordita crunch because it's not a gordita shell, but it's basically a huge double cheesy gordita crunch. It has meat on the outside as well. Now, why would you do this? Because you can.
I don't know about that because, I only like beef tacos, but I only like the chicken quesadilla. I am not a fan of the steak from Taco Bell, and I don't know if I want
a chicken quesadilla.
Well, that's what I was going to say was I don't know if I want beef tacos with chicken on the outside, so I might just shoot for them making me a straight up cheese quesadilla uncut.
That might work too.
And might work too
because it's the combination of having the cheese and the sauce from the quesadilla on the outside too. Yeah. It's having both of those things.
Uncut, no meat. Okay.
Yeah, uncut cheese quesadilla. Yeah. And then put the tacos inside of it, close it up.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I'm gonna get so fat again.
You can't do it all the time,
But that's what I'm saying. In a game day box, like a quesadilla, a crunch wrap supreme, a cheesy gordita crunch, a burrito supreme, nacho Bel Grande. Like nachos are game day food.
Nachos are definitely game day food. Yes.
Come on now.
Yeah, a couple orders of nachos, some tacos. Like you don't have to overthink this. Like you can just rebrand your party box thing that y'all do as a game day thing and switch one thing in it. Like it's just
and just throw in nachos or something.
Yeah.
Or make like a party platter nacho like that you can sell on game day, like something for more than one person.
Yeah. Like this box that they're using for this game day box. Hold on, let me see if I can share this with you somehow because it's what I'm seeing. It's like you said, it's on Instagram. But let me see because I'm not about to share this whole screen here. What else would you want in a game day box while I'm doing this?
I mean, obviously, See, like that is the issue that I find with Taco Bell is a lot of like their combo packs and everything don't include drinks. Like you can get a 12-pack or a 10-pack of tacos, or you can get like the 5 burritos and 5 tacos or whatever. Like they have mix and match it, but they don't come with drinks. And if you're doing like a game day box, you're gonna want drinks for everybody, right? So you're gonna need drinks.
Baja Blast.
Exactly. Like who is it? Somebody,
and a bottle of tequila to go with it.
Like a gallon of Baja Blast.
Yeah, like a gallon of Baja Blast. You know, they should start selling Baja Blast by the gallon at Taco Bell. Like that should be a thing. And the fact that it's not is honestly borderline criminal.
I don't know that I'm about this Baja Blast sauce though, Travis.
The Baja Blast hot sauce. Were you watching on Friday? You came in a little bit later, right?
Yeah, I came in late.
Okay, so it's the way they describe it. We can go back to it. Hold on, let me show you this picture of the game day box here. Okay, here we go. So if they used the box they use for this and make that entire thing nachos.
Yeah.
Like nacho, like a whole thing like a Nacho Bel Grande, like, or Nacho Supreme or something.
Also, who is that a game day box for? Because my fat ass could eat that whole box myself. Like that is a meal for, maybe
especially the entire Super Bowl. Like
I was gonna say maybe not the average person, but for me, who can put some food away.
And if you're sitting, like I said, for the entire Super Bowl, there's no way you're not finishing that.
Yeah.
I think she's referring to to the creation with the quesadilla and the tacos, which,
It is absolutely unnecessary, but I still want to fucking try it.
Exactly.
Like, I haven't done it, but like they have that land, air, and sea thing where you can like get, and I'm not, again, maybe because like I'll do like the double cheeseburger from McDonald's and I'll put a McChicken in between.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that, but adding a fillet of fish to that, they call it land, air, and sea, but it does not appeal to me. But it is something that you can buy and make and put together.
Yeah, I've never really been one for the fish sandwiches at McDonald's, but But yeah, that's enough Taco Bell talk. We got more news though. That's very Matt and Travis news here.
It's all Matt and Travis news today.
Last week, they also announced something that we just held off talking about because we needed the two of us to talk about this. Biker Mice from Mars, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
They are bringing back Biker Mice from Mars now. What is your history with Biker Mice from Mars? Like, it's one of those things that we never had talked about, but I would always just assume that you always watched it. So,
I mean, when we were younger, I'm pretty sure I actually have Biker Mice from Mars toys.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the villain was a rat named Limburger Cheese.
No, he was a fish.
Was he a fish? I thought he was a rat.
Nope, he was a giant fish. Hold on. Look at this. His name was
maybe
Limburger.
I don't remember as well. So like Biker Mice from Mars came out after, like everyone was trying to capitalize on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So you had Street Sharks.
Yeah.
You have Biker Mice from Mars. And I feel like Street Sharks was just below Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then Biker Mice from Mars was just below that. Like,
what about the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa?
That I do not remember.
You don't remember the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa?
No, not at all.
Hold on, let me see. I got a picture here of the toy. You can see it's like it was a mask he wore and he was a fish underneath it. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Like a piranha?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's coming back to me now. But I mean, I watched the show. I vaguely remember the show. It's mice with, motorcycles and fucking jackets and shit. One's got like a metal plate on his face.
Yeah, and he had like a little gun on his hand too.
Mm-hmm. like I said, I had the toys. I enjoyed it. So any news, like, I don't know. I'm weird because if they're gonna do it, like, I'd want it to be like the old show. Because like Justin from Get Show sends me stuff on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all the time, like new series coming out, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and all that shit from Nickelodeon. Like, I can't do it. I can't. It's not my Ninja Turtles. Like, I'm one of those.
Yeah.
I'm at that point now. I'm a snob, you know.
Well, there's certain things that I'm like that about. Like, like Ninja Turtles is definitely one of them. Just because I feel like it's a lot of times it's actually just honestly not as good. But there was the series that came out early 2000s, I think. I actually liked that one.
Okay.
But a lot of the newer stuff I don't like. Let me see. This is the toy.
Okay.
So yeah, we take the mask off. He was a piranha fish thingy underneath it. But yeah, Limburger.
I got the name right. I remember that. I knew it was cheese.
Yeah. But yeah, man, they're bringing back the Biker Mice from Mars, doing the toys and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. But yeah, now I gotta find. Hold on. Cowboys, Blue Mesa. Here we go. Because I can't believe you don't remember this. It's just the intro.
Comet breeze the mesa to the western skies with the sound of 1,000 cattle drive. A chosen few would see the light and fight the wrong with right. Up on the mesa, high above the clouds, there's a world apart from
This looks terrible.
on the mesa, live the real cowboys standing up for law and order and living by the code of the West.
You said it looks terrible?
Yes.
Why does it look terrible? What looks terrible about this?
All of it. I can understand why I did not watch this as a kid.
But they're like actual cowboys.
Yeah, no, I got that part. Technically, they're bull boys, Travis.
Well, yeah, but Bull Boys sounds dirty.
So I saw a female cow. I'm wondering if like part of the show is for like, because you know how like they drop little adult things in kids shows and everything. If she's like looking for a bull,
maybe. Well, yeah, okay. I just needed you to see that because the fact that you just didn't know about the show, I'm like, I need you to know. But there's more news though, Matt. You got something for us here.
I do. So a bunch of news, as far as I know today, because it's when I started seeing it on Twitter. It dropped today for WWE 2K23. John Cena is going to be, Travis's favorite wrestler of all time, is going to be the official cover art. Some of the stuff I was just looking at, apparently, for the first time ever, they're doing a cross-gen bundle between the PS5 and the Xbox.
Cross-gen bundle? What do you mean?
Yes. So I'm going to pull this back up. All it says from Bleacher Report is, for the first time ever, there's also a cross-gen edition of WWE 2K23, which will allow play on both the PlayStation and Xbox consoles and will feature the same cover as the standard edition. Which sounds to me like you get this edition, I'm assuming it's a physical edition, and you can play it on either console. I don't know how that would work.
I can't see that happen. I think because cross-gen means across generations would mean like that would be a correspondence between like the PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, but they might not. I don't remember if they had. I thought they had that in 2K22. I know that I could upload Creator Wrestlers and you could download them. If I uploaded them on the Xbox, I'm pretty sure you could get them wherever. I was pretty sure that was the case, and I thought you could also wrestle people across different gen. But
I don't think that's what they're talking. I think they're talking about if you buy it like the PS4 version, you'll have the PS5 version as well. I think that's what they mean. I'm
But
not
I mean, it literally
sure.
says it will allow for play on both the PlayStation and Xbox consoles.
Yeah, but that's not what cross-gen means. Cross-gen means across generations, not cross-platform.
Oh, yeah, that's true. War Games is going to be in this game.
Oh,
You will be able to do a War Games match.
I'm guessing they're
And
doing it by new War Games rules, not the original War Games.
yeah, it's going to be WWE War Games rules.
Okay.
And if you pre-order either the cross-gen edition or the standard version or any deluxe, anything else, you get an exclusive Bad Bunny as a playable character.
So all you out there that wanted to play as Bad Bunny, you have that option. I mean, we can't really talk. We played as Fred Durst, so
we absolutely played it for but so Bad Bunny is a pre-ordered bonus, and this is from the article that I posted earlier, so I don't know if anything else has come out since then because that was earlier this morning. Confirmed characters that are in the game are Batista, Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Ronda Rousey, and Stone Cold are confirmed for sure.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of concern that there were a lot of wrestlers who were left off 2K22 who came back, but came back mid or late 2022 that weren't going to make this game because this game is releasing March 17th.
Okay.
Of this year. So.
Okay. It's not the normal time the sports games usually come out, but I guess they're trying to get away from that.
I don't know if I'm going to get it, Travis. Like, I feel like even though 2K22 is good, it's not the same as when we were kids because I don't have it's not the same as if like you or John aren't over. We're not sitting bullshit and creating stuff and doing stuff together.
Yeah,
it's different when I do it all by myself.
That's not the kind of game that's not the kind of game that's meant to be played alone. That's meant to be played with people, with friends.
And it's hard for me to find time to be able to do that. So, and I've tried.
Let alone
I've
time
had every edition.
Let alone time for you to play at the same time that somebody else has time to play. Like that's the problem with being adults is that we can, never find time that corresponds for us to do the fun things anymore.
Well, that's not true, Travis. I just think that the time that we used to correlate to doing those kind of fun things, and all that, we now find to do other fun things and play with other kinds of toys.
You're absolutely right. We do find other times to play with other types of toys in those fun times. And you know where you can get those toys, Matt?
No, where Travis?
You can get those toys at mysensualsecrets.com. mysensualsecrets.com boasts one of the largest catalogs on the web across all varying levels of adult toy categories with toys for him, for her, and for both. The product line is extensive compared to other competitors in the sexual wellness industry. Orders ship within 24 hours, so customers are always satisfied with both the price and quality. MySensualSecrets.com has top-rated reviews and exceptional customer service. So go to sensual.creatiaworld.com for 10% off your order today. That is sensual.creatiaworld.com, and you can get 10% off today.
Okay, so I know we've talked about wrestling-inspired dildos, right? And like coming out with our own product line.
Yes, we have.
Creatia World, and maybe you could talk to My Sensual Secrets about this, but Creatia World nerd-ish products, because I just had a brilliant idea, Travis. What if there was a Lush you could sync to your PS5 controller that would go off in her while you were playing the game every time the controller vibrated? So you feel it as well as her.
So as I'm playing God of War, while I'm, swinging the Leviathan axe, and I feel the impact of the axe, she feels the impact of the axe as well.
Exactly.
Got you.
So you're playing your game and she's getting pleasure, and then she's encouraging you to swing harder,
to swing
hit
that axe
harder, faster, or even just a controller that's like a game controller where you can go like up, down, left, right, A, B, start, and it'll change the vibrations and do things. Stuff like that, Trav. Like I am full of brilliant sex toy ideas, Travis. I really am.
You might have something there. We need to talk to the guy. We need to talk to the guy.
And if you can't, for the Toy Story kid in you, as Amani said, everyone can have a Woody now, and everyone can have a friend in them.
Oh, that was good. Any other news?
I think that's it.
Okay. Let's let's talk about The Last of Us.
Okay.
Let's talk about this week's episode of The Last of Us with on HBO Max. This episode was, what was the episode called? Infected. So this is this opening of this episode what I want to talk about for real, because they keep hitting that stuff and like they haven't come out and said that this is really what happened, but it's just like they've been hitting at it for 2 episodes now, and it is that it's the flour. Like cooking flour.
I think there's a vibrating butt plug that you can attach to your Switch, but I don't know if you can sync it to video games to feel the wait, hold on. Let's talk about The Last of Us, because now I've got some research to do after all of this.
That's gotten my attention as well, and when you do look that up, I'm gonna need you to let me know.
I mean, that's a twofold project. Like that's convincing Kate to wear a butt plug after I find out if that's a real thing, like that. But
one step at a time, man.
Yeah, one step at a time. I have found. So yes, like you said, it's the flour, which makes sense because fungus, spores, that's how it grows.
Yeast,
and everything.
all that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying The Last of Us. However, I don't know if it's my experience with The Walking Dead or just zombie movies, even though it's not really a zombie show because they avoid saying the word zombie, just like they did in Walking Dead. Just my overall knowledge, I'm finding some of this a little predictable, even though I haven't played the game.
Okay, like what?
Well, I knew from the get-go without playing the game that it was going to be she's immune, or they're going to try and use her for a cure.
Oh yeah. That's pretty easy to predict. I would expect people to predict that.
And I knew Tess was infected. Like, I knew she wasn't going to last past this episode. I don't know why, but I was fairly certain this was going to be the last episode. Tess. We saw Tess.
It's pretty clear that
she had been infected.
I wouldn't say I knew this was the last episode, but I knew her time wasn't going to be very long, because it's just like this is about Joel and Ellie. So yeah. When do we get there? And I'm kind of glad we got there after the second episode anyway. So yeah, I'm with you. That makes sense.
But I mean, from the second, I told Kate when we started and we were like, they were walking through, I'm like, she's getting bit. She will be infected. Like, it's going to happen. And she did.
So let's talk about how this episode kicked off, though, with this nice Indonesian woman just minding her business, enjoying her lunch. And here come these military folks and say, you need to come with us right now. She was like, am I under arrest or some shit? And they were like, no, you just need to look at this. And she's seeing what happened, and like it happened at, what kind of factory or something?
It was grain
flour
factory,
and grain, flour and grain factory,
exactly, which is what we were just talking about, is how it's spreading in.
So the person had turned violent approximately 30 hours ago. So this is, and they said this is taking place 2 days before the pilot. So, which means the person that bit this person had been infected for a while already. So yeah, there was time for that flour to get over to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so this person is like basically an expert on funguses and all that, and she sees everything that's happening with this person. They sit down and talk to you like, listen, I don't know what you expected me to tell you, but listen, there is no vaccine. There is no cure. We are fucked, is basically what she says.
She said bomb everyone.
Yes. She's like,
blow the city up.
There's your only solution is to destroy everyone here. Problem is, like we know, that grain and flour has already been shipped around the world, so there's no stopping that. But we do see later on when we talk about it, they bombed that city that they were in, and like, yeah, it worked here, but it didn't work other places, and yeah, we're still fucked. So they did try to do that.
See, this is why I'm going. This is why I'm on this low carb diet, Travis, because the rest of y'all are eating all that flour and bullshit and getting all, turning into mushroom zombies and shit. I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah. But yeah, her saying bomb it all, and just the look on her face and just thinking to it, like you see it all processing on her face, like there's nothing we can do. Take me to my family because we're all gonna die.
Yep.
I
also love how
No, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I also love how she told him, she's like, why is this mushroom slide, used and whatever? And he's like, it came from a human. She's like, oh, they can't live in humans. And then she goes in there and she cuts the ankle open, and then she reaches down in the mouth and pulls the shit out. And she's like, oh fuck, this is it. Nope.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah, we're all dead. We're all dead. There were some other things that people have talked about with this episode, but let's go ahead and talk about the thing. Happened at the end. It's very uncomfortable for everybody involved, I'm sure. The cordyceps kiss,
I don't feel like that was consensual.
Clearly not. I mean, so let's back up. Tess is infected. She knows she's going to die. She knows she has like no time. Because they talked about how where different bites and how long it is until they're completely overrun and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, she has no time. There's a bunch of them coming, which we find out that they have like a hive mind thing going on. And let me tell you, sir, I am a sucker for a hive mind enemy. Like with those things, like the Borg is still probably my favorite enemy in all of fiction.
Okay, so as they're going through, they see all of these infected laying on the ground, and they're kind of like rolling around, and like as the sun moves or the clouds go, like they roll with it. And Ellie's looking out, and she's like, "What's going on?" And they explain to her that there are miles underneath the city of vines from, the fungus, and that they're all kind of interconnected, and they move as one. Like you said, it's a hive mind. So then they go to the museum. There's a bunch of shit, and he's like, don't step on them, because if you step on one here, one from 2 miles, or you'll trigger, a pack from 2 miles away, they'll come looking for you because of the hive mind. So they check the mushrooms, and they're all like dead. He's like, I think we're good. So then they go in the museum. There's a couple still alive in there. They got to fight those up.
There's different types of them. Like they're at the stage of being the clicker.
She was even asking that as they were on the highway. She's like, so, she was like, oh, I was told that, out in the open, it's just hordes everywhere. And they're like, oh, no, people like to make up stories. And she goes, what about the ones that explode and shoot spores all over you? And they're like, oh, we hope that's not true. And then she's like, and then the ones whose heads open up at night and they just kind of got quiet and looked at her. And it's like, there might be some cool shit coming in this show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. But so they go in there, the clickers are there. They fight them off. That's how Tess gets infected. Fighting them off. But then when they finally make it to the state building to drop Ellie off, because there's been a whole discussion about like, hey, what's up with your arm? He wanted to kill her. Like Joel was like, let's just kill her and be done, or let's just take her back and figure out something else. I'm not walking around with this infected girl, despite the fact that she's been infected for however long. And
I think at that point, I don't think at that point it was the fact that she was infected. I think at that point he was just fucking done, because it's just like there's nothing for us anymore. So fuck it.
But they get to the State Department, and the whole Firefly team is just dead, wrecked, which is interesting because like we also found someone in the museum who was torn up, and they're like, that doesn't look like one of the infected did this. What's going on here? It
was a clicker that did that, because they wasn't one that it was the regular infected would start biting on you, all that, but the clickers are just they crazy and fuck. So that's when they realize, oh, this is something, this is bad. And that whole explanation, how they explain how the clickers work, very well done. When he's like looking like they can't see, but they can hear.
But he doesn't say it. He mouths it.
Exactly.
And he points so you understand.
Right. And the whole thing when they had to be like, yo, we are not quiet, we are silent, because that's how they find you. Mm-hmm. And how that they do all those clicking and everything, because there's also that echolocation they do with the clicks and all that kind of stuff. And just the storytelling that they do with just the environment without actually having to tell you out loud is very well done in this show.
But anyway, when they get to the State Department, there's this dead guy who kind of starts to come back to life. Joel shoots him, and then you see the little forceps, the vines, the whatever coming up and like touching the dead guy's hand. And then all of a sudden we cut out to that horde of, infected in the street, and same thing. And then they all get up and they know where, like, there's the hive mind communication.
Did you we've talked about this, but I don't know if we ever talked about you actually watching it. Have you watched Star Trek Discovery yet?
Yes.
Okay, so you're familiar with the mycelial network there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why when they mentioned mycelium, I'm like, they got their own mycelial network here. Look at that. Those of you who haven't watched Star Trek Discovery, I don't know what to tell you. You should watch it.
And that's a fungus thing too, right?
Yeah.
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 So I'm just like, if you haven't watched it, you should go ahead and watch it, because there's no way for me to explain all that to you right now. But yeah, Star Trek Discovery, look at it. There was one other thing with this episode that I wanted to remember to bring up.
Well, we were getting ready to talk about the makeout session.
Right. But then you reminded me of something else before when you were talking. I'm like, I got to make sure I talk about that, but now I've forgotten. Oh well, yeah. So the whole idea of them running through the Capitol building, like at first they were chasing Joe, ignoring her because she's one of them now. Most of them are, and one stops in the midst of all that and looks at her and starts moving towards her slowly, but she's not running, because she's basically resigned to her fate and trying to light this, get her Zippo lighter going, and it won't light. She's going to blow the whole thing up with them in it.
Oh, yeah, she knocked over barrels of gasoline and then threw grenades on the floor. And my thought was, instead of fucking around with that Zippo, why didn't you just pull a grenade?
Yeah. Amani was saying the same thing, and I'm like, yeah. Grenade. You have grenades in here. You don't need to light your lighter.
Yeah, like pull a pin, hold on it, let them take you down, and then just let go.
Let go.
Boom.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Instead, you got fucking deep-throated by fungus.
He did. Like fungus in the mouth, just out of that mouth and into her mouth, and be like, this is really disgusting. And this is making me really uncomfortable. And I know this was intentional. Like, it's just.
Do we know if the infected, if it's just people, or if it affects animals too?
They have not said so yet, but we've seen animals just out because we saw the ducks.
Exactly, because I'm wondering like why they don't have a dog, Travis. I'm a dog person. I feel like a dog would be a fantastic companion on this journey for them.
Indeed.
While I do understand, like with the sound and the clickers, like the perils of having a dog, if they bark or something, like I can see why that's an issue. But also, I feel like a dog would be like a great way to take care of shit out there.
And you also should be taking care of your dog. And a great way to take care of your dog is by going to dog.com. On dog.com, it's, your online dog supplies, shopping, and information destination. Everything your dog needs, from toys to treats and food, is available, including collars and leashes. They even have outdoor gear and water safety gear for your furry friends. So like on this episode of The Last of Us, when they were going through the water in the hotel, which that's what I wanted to remember to talk about, was the hotel. Let's get back to that. Yeah, they got all of that. So go to dog.creationworld.com to receive up to 64% off your order today. That's dog.creationworld.com. Get up to 64% off your order today.
That whole scene with the water had me freaking the fuck out, because my thought was there are infected in the water, and I was waiting for it, and it was just a skeleton, and I was kind of disappointed.
My thing was her context as to how hotels work should not have been that clear, because all she had was books. True. So her being able to go to the counter and ring and be like, hello, and know how the bell cart works and all that kind of stuff. Like, you haven't been to a hotel before, so you don't know the subtleties as far as how you probably would know the basics. Like, yeah, people slept here, and they had to check into their rooms and all that kind of stuff. But you wouldn't know all the subtleties as far as calling for a front desk reception person and having a bellman take your bags and all that kind of stuff, as far as how that would work. That bothered me as someone who used to work at a hotel.
Well, they have books and she's in school, and maybe during the school, the teacher, that's what she did say. Maybe the teacher, maybe that's why it's a bad school. Instead of talking about like the infected and how long they last and shit, the teacher's out there like mimicking. I remember when I went to a hotel, you'd walk up to the front desk and you'd ring and like did a whole play act, remembering.
Yeah, she would have had to reenact the whole thing for her to really see the subtleties as far as how that worked. It bothered me, because it's just, I know people who have been to hotels before and experienced hotels who just somehow don't know how the shit works. So the fact that this child who has never experienced it all before, somehow knows the subtleties as far as how all this works, bothered me.
I mean, we went to a nice hotel in St. Louis, or no, not St. Louis, Memphis, and it was the nicest hotel I think we've stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done the whole like valet thing at a hotel, so even then, having gone to hotels, I didn't realize how the whole, and I had you in my entire life, Travis, but like never did we sit down and talk about how the whole valet thing at a hotel worked. So I look stupid trying to figure out like where to go and how to get my keys. And I just wanted to go, like I could see my car. I just wanted to go walk to my car and get in. And they're like, no.
Insurance stuff. You can't go into that area. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of subtleties and stuff involved with these things that people just, there's no way she should have known that, is my point. Yeah. But, you were talking about, you were traveling and all that kind of stuff. And when you're traveling, a lot of times you can get a little tired and, you might need a little bit of energy. And so when you need some energy, a great way to go about that is with W. And what you can do is you can check out W, because W is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like other energy drinks. They also have no maltodextrin. Now, I know some of you out there are like, Travis, what is maltodextrin? Because I don't know either. But it has something to do with carbs. Like it's just part of that whole no added sugar thing, And they don't use artificial dyes. W contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. This product is made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. W has handpicked what they believe to be the 10 most critical ingredients for focus and concentration. W contains important aminos and vitamins that canned energy drinks simply don't have. W also uses Neurofactor, a patented all-natural coffee cherry extract to help fuel you. This ingredient is what gives W its laser focus and fast reflex effects, which actually makes it especially perfect for gamers. They disclose full ingredient amounts, and products will never contain fillers or artificial colors or dye. W is sugar-free, like I said, maltodextrin-free, and keto-friendly. So go to w.creatiaworld.com and use code Creation to receive 10% off your order today. That is w.creatiaworld.com, and you get 10% off.
Listen, that last part's really important to me because we've talked about this. I've been on a diet. I've lost roughly between 40 and 50 pounds. I'm kind of floating right now, but I've also not been great about it, especially on the weekends. However, this diet, I'm a pop drinker. So I'm finding which no sugar pops I can enjoy. I'm not a big fan of Pepsi. Most other ones, especially Dr. Pepper, I do enjoy, but finding something with no sugar, and then also it's a low carb diet. W sounds like, if I need an energy drink, the perfect place to go, because none of these other energy drinks are going to really offer me that option, for my diet and things like that.
Exactly. Hey, you got your PS5 now, so you're going to be gaming. This is great for gaming, great for focus and your reflexes, because you're going to need those reflexes, especially once you get into God of War Ragnarok, I'm one, actually, like when it got to a point where I was just like, this ain't going to work. I had to lower the difficulty because it's just like, I'm a grown-ass man and I just don't have time. Like I firmly believe I could have beaten the game without doing that, but it would have taken me longer. And I'm just like, I need to go ahead and get through this. So I lowered the difficulty.
Because I want to beat the game. I want to know what happens. I don't have the time. I did it. Like, I remember spending like 3 days with John on Final Fantasy X on one of the battles with Lord Seymour, trying to be strong enough to beat Seymour. Mm-hmm. I don't have 3 days to sit there for hours
at a time,
grinding to get strong enough to defeat an enemy. Like, I need to do it. So take that level. Yeah. Take the difficulty down.
Yeah. And I did it with zero shame. But yeah, The Last of Us, back to that. They did you see the trailer for the next week's episode?
I did not. I cut it off and then got ready for this.
So next week's episode has Nick Offerman, aka Ron Swanson.
Yes.
Yeah. So he supposedly just had built this little self-sustaining area and all that kind of stuff, and inevitably it's going to go wrong. So Yeah, that's next week. So we get Ron Swanson. As Amani pointed
Adam
out, he was
Mormont
coming back.
and Ron Swanson is a team up or a pairing in a show that I never thought I needed until right now, but
Yeah.
now I fucking need it.
And now I need it all. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that episode next week.
Oh yeah.
Should be a good time. Is there anything else with The Last of Us you want to make sure we touched on before we moved on?
I mean, I'm sure we did, but like, she blew up the state building.
She did.
To help them escape. That was the end of the show. Was like, she did get the lighter lit while making out with the zombie. It hit the gas. It blew up all the grenades. She killed all the zombies that were in the building. Helped Joel and Ellie escape, and they got away.
And we don't know if you only watching the show and didn't play the game. You don't know what they're gonna do now because this was the whole thing, getting her there so they can get the battery so they can go find Tommy. Now what the fuck they gonna do?
That was the whole game?
No, that was their plan for this far into the show was take her there, get the battery, and
yeah, okay. Last thing, remember I talked to you about how Kate did play the game and she was stuck in a hole?
Yes.
The very beginning of this episode, when we wake up with Ellie, she's like, "That's the hole. That's the hole I'm stuck in." And I'm like, "Well, watch how they get out, and maybe you can figure out how to move on in the game." And they move the bookshelf, and she's like, "I'm pretty sure there wasn't a door there." I'm like, "You never know. You might have to go back and look now." But like, she was so excited that the hole that she is stuck in that made her stop playing the game was in the show.
Oh yeah. And honestly, as I'm watching this, I'm like, is this possibly did they finally do it? Is this the video game adaptation that we've been waiting for? Have they succeeded?
I think she said she doesn't remember Tess lasting this long into the game. Like, I think she said Tess was gone before she found the hole. But
so I do know, because other people have talked about this, the hotel thing happens after Tess dies. So like they kind of kept her around for this episode to do the hotel thing and get her death in like that. But I think that's the only thing that they said they moved around was that. But yeah, but I'm like, I haven't played the game, but I've talked to Kobe about it, and he was like, they're nailing it. So
nice.
I think they may have finally done it. I mean, the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, I fucking loved them. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is better done than that. Even though I fucking love those movies, like it's just, especially the first one. The second one's pretty cool too. Like I like the second one, but I love the first one.
I don't know, like I put it on, but I don't think I watched it. Like I think I just had it on the background. I didn't pay attention because Kate hates Jim Carrey, so like it was something I watched without Kate.
Okay.
It was one of those things, and then I had it on. I don't think I paid close attention to Sonic.
Yeah, you should check it out. It was actually like a fucking great video game movie, and we have not had those.
Okay,
so we'll see, and we'll see what happens when Mario Brothers comes out. But yeah, I think this might be the first time somebody finally, for real, like actually nailed it as far as video game movies go. Well, video game adaptations, because it's a show, not a movie. Which I feel like a lot of these things would be better as shows than as movies. What happened?
Oh, she just leaned over her computer screen and started staring at me like she was disappointed.
I didn't know.
Are you a disappointment?
I don't know. Maybe she's disappointed. I talked about how she's still stuck in a hole after 3 years and just learned how to get out by watching a TV show.
I never said I was good at video games. Okay.
You said you were good at Mario Kart.
You said you were good at Mario Kart.
I am fucking good at Mario Kart.
Bring it.
I'm only one.
Travis said, "Bring it."
Fucking do it, dude.
I'm gonna send you. Well, you have my friend code, don't you?
Yeah, we got your friend code.
Yeah. We're gonna hop on there because I'm gonna have to remind people just who the fuck I am, because for some reason I feel like y'all forgot. Now, what was I gonna say? We were talking about The Last of Us. We're done with that.
I think you were getting ready to plug our stuff and get out of here.
Where we at? Yeah, we're about there. We can end this here. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining us for lunch. We appreciate it. If you're not watching live, you're just watching us later. Remember, you can watch us live. You go to twitch.tv/Creatia World. We're also live on YouTube at youtube.com/Creatia World. But you can also watch us later on YouTube. There's that thing there. But also, if you want to watch us later in video form, You can watch us on Pornhub. Pornhub.com/model/Creatia World. That's Pornhub, not Pork Rub. Let's see. We also can find us on podcast services everywhere if you just want to listen. You can go to linktree.com/Creatia World and find out where we are, everywhere from those links. But if you really want to dig into the nitty-gritty about who we are and what we do, you go to creatiaworld.com. That's where you get all the info, including what our favorite drink is, I think I still haven't gone back and checked, but I'm pretty sure we put our Hogwarts houses on there. Hogwarts Legacy comes out next month. You should check that out. All the shows we do are there, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, go there. But also you can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at It's Creatia World. That is at ITSCREATIA World. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/Creatia World. And also, if you want to get all the extra stuff we do, like Return to Wrestling with myself and the Warden Matt Ritter here, or Multiverse with myself and Mario the Shark Watkins, you can go to patreon.com/Creatia World, and $1 gets you all the extra stuff. There's other tiers we can get more stuff too, but just the extra stuff the extra shows and stuff that we do, only it costs you $1. And you get to support us. Also, other way you can support us on Twitch too. I forgot to mention this. Subscribe to us on Twitch, okay? Twitch.tv/Creatia World. It's, if you got Amazon Prime, then you got Prime Gaming, so you can get a free subscription on Twitch. So give that to us. Give us that Jeff Bezos money. Jeff tried to fuck us last week and tell us we couldn't show the trailer for Invincible on here.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He's being a dick, but whatever. It's fair use. We're good because we didn't do anything illegal, but it wasn't worth fighting it last week. So if you watch the episode on YouTube, you'll see I put a little box over it that says Amazon says we can't show this. Yeah, I think that'll be it, Matt. What you got going on right now?
I'm working so we can get the next episode of Return to Wrestling recorded. We should get that done this weekend at some point. Smacking Raw live every Friday, 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern on Fridays. You can join me, Katie, and Vince. And we got a guest this week. It is Kyle from the Apron Bump podcast, talking everything WWE, AEW, or whatever wrestling that our guest has watched, breaking it down. Spits and Swallows as the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Tonight is Raw Triple X.
Tonight is Raw Triple X. Also, we just dropped an episode of Getting Offed, where we talked winter horror movies. Mara stopped in the chat for that. Talked Bill Goldberg and Santa's Sleigh, which was a fun little chat. If you have not seen,
Mara was there. I should have changed those. I could switch up the tags on Pornhub now that she's there. Okay, whatever.
Well, she popped in the chat. She wasn't on the show.
Oh, she wasn't on the show. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So we did that. So please go check that out. Again, all the places that you can check out this. It was on Twitch, YouTube. Did you change the name to get it on Pornhub, or is it just not going to be on Pornhub?
It's on Pornhub. I fixed it.
Oh, it's on Pornhub.
I just had to change the word kill and just put the little K with the stars after it kind of thing. Because the word kill is apparently a banned word on Pornhub. So,
Fair enough.
It's so weird.
You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Rose, at MATTRIDDER for all the wrestling stuff. And if you want to follow for the horror stuff, go follow at Getting Offed on Twitter.
Okay.
On Facebook.com/group/Smacking Raw also.
Yes. Go there. Join that conversation. But yeah. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. They already told you where we can find Matt. That'll be it, I guess. We'll see y'all tomorrow. It'll be Matt and Vince tomorrow, as long as Vince doesn't quit or get fired, because that might happen too. But we'll see y'all tomorrow. Until then, we out.
Peace.